Sorry. Also,
Well, I stopped because of what you said, and now the button is pressed.
so you can't say it.
And the die is cast.
I think we all cast a few dies.
Yes, we all rolled for initiative. The healer's going first. There is nothing wrong with this plan. Old Rob is going last. He's sleeping in today.
As he does every day.
No, sometimes
I
Karasenda
recall-
comes over with a bucket of water.
How else am I supposed to wash that disreputable bathrobe of yours?
This counts as a bath!
Can't hear that? No, probably wasn't listening anyway.
Well, it's Friday, and everybody knows what that means. Actually, they probably don't, because I've chosen to take on the challenge of these characters leveling up too fast by not having a game for 2 months. It's a plus ultra night, and tonight I'm Ellie. I may not be other nights, but tonight I'm Ellie. And I'm joined by Beth, Crash, Io, and Jen. And if anybody can remember that far back, what happened last time?
We retconned the rest of the tower.
We bantered.
We explored.
We
I
complained
think
about a
more
bedroom.
accurately, we unretconned the rest of the tower. It's, or retconned it into existence.
That.
And
We thought about time travel.
It's a bad idea. Nobody should do it. On the other hand, I do like our new digs.
And apparently there is an entirely new signature. By new, I mean it wasn't there before, but it's been there since forever. A signature's worth of pages in the back of the book we've been using that is Deven's now, because possession 9/10 of the law, that had new information and stuff.
Written to us.
Yes. Well, some of it was written to us specifically. Some of it was, I haven't finished my book yet. I'm finishing my book.
Know how that goes.
And to summarize for the recording, because we took a break from this, but not from recording episodes of stuff. So for the listeners, it's been a while also, unless they're binging later. So
Could be.
possible places we could explore: the fallen city ruins, but that requires going over a cliff. Old Rob is opposed to the cliff, specifically. There is a well to the north, actually. No cliff involved.
Oh.
Hey, I'm stealing that joke
Wait, what?
from Beth. Beth made the joke in the episode because
Okay.
I listened to it this afternoon in preparation for this.
there's a well to the north that definitely got my attention for unintended reasons.
There is a
One of the
land
talkie
bridge.
wells.
There is a land bridge to the west that leads to another large landmass. Although I got the sense that that is quite far away because you have to traverse this landmass first to get to the land bridge, assuming it's still there. There was wild magic. Who knows? Maybe the land bridge has been turned into a land channel.
Octopus.
No!
Only if it's in the
I
Pacific
do not want a
Northwest.
terrapus. No terrapus.
And there is an island to the southeast that may or may not have sky and other groovy beings. Because I have no idea how to say or pronounce the other thing. But that's conjecture made by Beeble when Beeble was writing things down. Beeble didn't go there. Beeble thought, well, maybe that's where they disappeared to when they disappeared. Gruvs. Grooves.
Grooves. But not
Groovy.
groves. Ooh.
Oh, wonderful. So that was an unintentional Fallen London reference. Wonderful. Or it was very intentional.
No,
because Ellie
we
knows
don't
her
want
audience.
those wells.
Bad wells. Those wells are not well.
Well.
Deep subject.
Hey, Fallen London
Or,
has
as my
giant
mother would
Jawas,
say-
so it can't be that bad.
No, they only look like giant Jawas when they have their cloaks on. Unless Jawas look like tiny space bats with their cloaks off.
You know, Jawas only look like Jawas with their cloaks on also. I continue to see a resemblance.
I'm now imagining Jawas looking like Sphinx cats, all wrinkly and naked under the robes.
Rocini bundles his robe around him more tightly. Contemplates getting a lead
Reference to-
liner for it.
References to characters not in this thing.
Oh yeah, that's right. Where's that
That's
thing you
actually, yeah.
said? No, 90% by volume.
the-
We're not there yet.
Oh, all right. Karacinda does vaguely remember that we were looking for ropes or flying spells or something cool like that to see if we could go down the cliff without, splat.
Yes, that
Is
is,
that a
I
piano?
believe, what we were working on.
Is that piano over there? That's
What's that?
piano.
Looks like a
Piano?
writing desk.
Oh, in the game.
Yeah.
Bing, bing, bing,
Or a raven.
bing.
I'm told the two are like each other.
Those look nothing alike.
But how is a raven like a writing desk?
Well, I think in this tower, any flat surface is a writing desk, and ravens don't tend to be very flat, so I assume it isn't. Sorry, I haven't gotten much sleep. I've been researching.
I believe the answer is because it can produce a few notes, though they are very flat.
Has it gone out of tune?
Now I'm imagining somebody showing up and saying, "Hello, I'm the Raven Tuner."
Oh, you're right.
No, it
That
has
is
not.
a piano.
It has not gone out of tune.
Nice. Well, I say that at least we've got better carpets to sleep on now. But also, we need a rope if we're going to go look
Yes.
for the city.
You are in Beeble's Tower, which has been restored from the damage that it had previously never experienced.
Except for the soot stains from where we lit a fire before the top got put
Yes.
back on.
On the rocks that hadn't changed position.
Yeah.
And Beeble's Tower, which now apparently is Adelina's.
Oh, I forgot about that.
That's right. Beeble's apparently your great, great, great relative.
Okay.
Congrats. You get the big bed.
Oh, really?
Well, your tower.
Yeah,
Seems
I
only
guess
fair.
so. I guess that would work. Sure.
See, there's a big bed in there.
And Evelina's gonna actually go and lay down on the bed for a minute and see how it works.
Good night.
It is, in fact, the nicest bed you've ever slept in or laid
Oh.
down on.
Oh, good.
It also, despite its apparent size, actually has room for all four of you.
Wow.
You don't have to share it if you don't want to.
I can't remember why this is her tower, though.
Because the original.
Because Adelina is a distant descendant of Beeble the Brox.
Ah, okay.
That's not his actual name, but yes, Beeble.
Okay, Beeble. Yeah. Neat.
Or at least that's what we're assuming for now,
Mhm.
until we go back in time and step on a butterfly and change everything again.
Yes.
Oh, let's not do that. I don't want to have to get used to being a different height or have wings or something. Tail might be useful.
I miss having 6 arms.
When did you last have 6 arms?
We all did. Then we went back in time.
Which mushrooms were you eating again? Because I don't think those would be any that I picked.
Old Rob will laugh and laugh and laugh.
Mm-hmm. You can't troll me.
Well, I'm going to keep looking for beginner's guides to levitation or something.
Okay.
Oh, that sounds like fun.
They're probably down in the library.
This transport circle still
Such
active?
as it is. That is a glowing sigil, but it's not really immediately obvious what it does.
Ah, true.
Hmm. All right.
Maybe it brings Beeble back immediately to its spot.
There are also ropes that you can take with you if you want to.
Excellent. Ropes. You said that there's like spoiled food out on the table here, didn't you? Or was that something I forgot?
I don't remember what I said.
Okay. Don't worry about that.
I don't think there's actually food there. It's just an
Okay.
artifact of the map.
Okay.
Yeah, we found a pantry that looked like it hadn't been stocked in 500 years, but we didn't exactly.
Yeah,
find
that's
rotting
true.
food.
The only
Any
question is
food
whether
that was
it's
rotting would be
magic
dust by now.
Yeah. Unless it had only failed recently. Harrison is going to go itemize the pantry and see what's there and what's actually still potentially usable, like the magic whey bread that we took.
There's some more of that. There's not a whole lot else. There are cooking implements, but that's about it. Pretty much everything else is Like there's shelf stable, and then there's shelf stable for 500 years.
Yeah.
So basically, the best we could hope for would be a can of spam.
Yes,
And the water
and some
sorry,
Twinkies.
ain't sure those things are edible. And the water in this room is this
That actually looks perfectly fine.
and it's drinking water probably?
Yeah, there seems to be a source for it from outside.
Well, go boil water and use our own supplies a little bit and see what we can do with magic whey bread. And you people can do other stuff, but that's what Karacinda's doing for a while.
Okay, Adelina, what are you up to?
Right now, Adelina's player can't find where she went.
Oh,
Yeah.
Say something in the chat and it'll
you were
take you
underneath
right
my
to
character.
your thing.
I moved my character and you were
Oh.
right
Okay. Okay. Problem solved. Yeah. All right. So, considering that,
Old Rob was
she's
just
gonna
suddenly
go.
1 felta taller and not realizing it.
Yeah.
What?
All right. I'm gonna follow Rob. But it collides with at least one wall, so I can't do that either. All right. I'll just try.
I took the stairs down to the library. While somebody's looking for useful information about, how to get to our next quest hub or whatever, old Rob has decided that he's going to not do anything useful at all and instead look for stories. That these stories are about grooves and sky, which makes it very relevant to our quests, is irrelevant to this conversation. I don't know why you bring it up.
I am sorry. I thought I had more written up.
Okay.
And I do somewhere. It's just not here.
All right.
I don't know where that document was.
This is like when somebody asks me about a kobold that's been in like 3 sessions from 5 years ago.
Yep.
Oh, Bitey. Yeah. I have his backstory somewhere. Actually, I did not write a backstory for Bitey. Don't ask.
The problem with finding information about grooves and sky is that in the period when all the books in this library were written, they were like, you learned about them in this world's equivalent of kindergarten. Just
And
like there are different kinds of people.
We're not going to find an ABC primer in a research facility.
Right. But you can discern that there are 2 kinds of grooves, and nobody knows a whole lot about one of them. They keep to themselves, but not like out of any animosity or anything. It's just that they're not really adapted to the surface, so they're not really comfortable, like out in the sun. And the other ones are, from the depictions you can find, about the height of a felton, and completely hairless. As for the sky, there seem to have been several settlements of them around, but it's unclear whether any of them survived. There was a monastery up in the mountains to the north, and there had been people had made notes about some kind of conflict between the sky and the humans over around Dunport, but it's unclear what it actually was. Just that everybody seemed to know.
So the monastery was run by Sky, and it was to the north?
Yes, in the mountains to the north.
Interesting.
They controlled the major pass between Dunmere, what is now Dunmere, and the plains to the north.
I find it interesting that, like, using the saying, okay, well, yeah, everyone seemed to already know about that. There's 2 routes that you can go. One is, so we're just not going to write anything about it down. It's already, like, part of the public zeitgeist, so, yeah, everyone just knows about it. And the other is, History Channel, everything's going to be about World War II now. Unless it's aliens. I'm not saying it's going to be aliens.
And sometimes it's aliens and World War II.
Yes. Going back.
Yeah, this is you keep catching references to this conflict, but nothing that actually says what it was.
Obviously, we need to hop back in time, contact people, and say, "Hey, do we need to know more about this weird conflict and then, pop away again?
Half of these entries say it was a war, the other half say it was a police action. Which is it? And what's a draft?
Oof. Draft's that thing that comes in under the door. Don't you know anything?
Well, yeah, but in this context, that wouldn't make any sense whatsoever. Why would everyone be trying to run away from a breeze coming in from under a door? Must have been a very
They
cold
get
conflict.
pretty cold at winter.
Like a cold war or something.
I'm going to go get a bucket, and I'm going to pour it down the back of your neck.
I feel like the reason for you feeling that way right now is something to do with that fourth wall over there. Which is odd to say, because we're in a circular room.
About to point that out.
Oh, that's the other thing that you notice, and actually Deven picks up on it first. This is probably predictable, but there is no mention at all of Wild Touched.
Yes, that is rather what I expected.
Yeah. The Wild Toucher from the Wild Magic, but the Wild Magic wasn't around when most of these books were written.
Well, it's sort of assumed that the Wild Touch are from the Wild Magic, but you can draw the conclusions.
I never really thought to question that.
Apropos of nothing, I just found a boat anchor on the map, and this amuses me.
Oh, no.
Because it implies that somebody carried a boat anchor up a flight of circular stairs and then left it in the middle of the library.
Or teleported it in.
Or it's not
And just
actually
boat
canon
anchor.
that it's there, which is also fun.
Boat anchor.
Is
boat
that better, Jen?
You find her. There she is. Okay. Yeah, that'll do. But now everything's telling me I'm colliding with a wall. Oh, I got out. Never mind.
Everyone check off Fighting with Foundry on your bingo cards.
Yep.
Oh, I haven't done the bingo card in a while. I don't have the energy for it today. I'm sorry.
No, fair. No.
I try to not
Yeah.
touch it
Yeah,
when
that's
I'm GMing because I'm afraid
Mhm.
that it will influence the game.
Hmm. Okay, so I'm over here now. That makes things better.
And to be fair, I think we're mostly doing Theater of the Mind right now. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is there an upstairs room up here that's got a bunch of books in it that might need rescuing?
There's some
If
books
they're-
over here.
The ones are still alive?
I think these are books.
Yeah.
No,
there's some
that's
books.
all.
They're,
Um,
well,
Adelina's in the pantry.
oh,
Mhm.
you're right.
Yeah. Hmm.
Those are dried up, dusty fruits or wrappers for dried up fruits or something.
Hmm.
Or possibly different colored whey bread. The whey bread stuck around for 500 years.
Could be that.
Well, you can each find what you want within reason, with some time spent in the tower. And I can't remember if we said you spent the night or not yet.
I think we were planning to.
Yeah.
if we're looking for what
I think we did.
we're looking for, it's going to take more than one day, I'm certain. Or old Rob's certain, at least.
Yeah.
Or hoping. Possibly
That's probably
hoping.
true.
Hmm.
Well, you can stretch it
Paracinda?
out as long as you want.
Don't want to stretch out too long. Karacinda has a skill.
Not a
How do I-
skill.
Only one?
A
It's
skill?
called banter.
That too. Housekeeping. Gonna find all the bits of this here tower that need some work, and she's going to work on like tidying up and rescuing things that need that done for them. So the tower will not fall into any further disrepair. Not that there's much disrepair to start with, but
Okay.
and also look for rope, which you said we found some, but just keep checking where it is and making sure that it's sturdy and that stuff.
Okay. Adelina?
Adelina's just walking around the same level of the tower that Karacinda is in and just kind of like looking to see what's here. She's currently
Okay.
found a bunch of what looks like wine bottles.
Yeah, they're vinegar, I think, at this point.
Probably, yeah.
Oh, cleaning supplies.
Sorry?
If it's fall vinegar, then they're cleaning supplies.
Oh, well, there you go.
They are now.
Now you just need a bunch of
Okay.
baking
Also,
There
soda
might-
it's
and a volcano made of paper mache.
no.
There might be some that's still good, but there hasn't been anybody to rotate them and turn the sediment for years and years and years. So, okay. Devin?
How is my research going? Could I perhaps roll research?
Yes, let's roll research.
Excellent.
Instead of giving you a difficulty, I want to see what difficulty you beat.
All right. Also, we should not be down random pool points, I feel like.
Oh, yes. Okay, eased by 3 steps, so that would beat a difficulty 5. Which, fair. All right, yeah, you have found it's not really so much a like the beginner's guide to levitation as a treatise on altering personal gravity.
Aha.
And it's going to take you a little time to you're going to be doing the thing you have fun doing, which is sitting there and taking notes and figuring out what's going on.
Yes, I am.
And old Rob, apparently pickling things.
Pickled produce.
Gotcha. There are some, like, again, this isn't really the kind of place you would find storytelling stories, but there are some histories, and if you search hard enough, you can find well, actually, go ahead and give me a roll. Let's say identifying, or you can use see through matter, or see the unseen.
Hmm.
Okay, I'll give it to you. Yes, in a cache behind a bookshelf, you can find people's stash of less intellectual books.
Oh no, people's secret romance books.
Karacinda, you can housekeep. I'm not going to modify the map because that would be really hard.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can get things tidy and in order and take stock of what you've got. What you've got isn't a whole lot. It's mostly empty wrappers and bottles of vinegar, and you can try real hard to pickle the whey bread if you want to.
She might try to pickle a little of it just out of sheer amusement, or anything that we've got that was semi-fresh on us when we left the place.
Okay.
If we stay a few days, she can go out scrounging things to pickle. The other thing she wants to do is, apparently there's a room up in the tower, the very top of the tower, that at least is illustrated as having bird nests and whatnot.
That's a conceit of the map. They're not actually there.
Okay, good. All right, so I don't have to rescue those books, but she'll check to make sure that there aren't any leaks up in the roof as well.
No, that's pretty well preserved.
Nice.
Adelina, you have become familiar with what is apparently your tower.
Right. Kind of overwhelming to own a tower.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But like all the lights respond to you. The doors open at your touch, although for all you know, they open at anybody's touch.
Yeah, I would. There would have to be some experimenting to see if that's only me or everyone. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You have, in fact, even figured out how to turn on the fireplace on the 4th floor.
Oh, cool.
Nice.
Yeah. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. So that'd be this one I'm in, or
It's the one with the sigil on the floor. And the bed.
On the floor and the bed. Okay, yeah. I'll see if I can get her to go back there.
Bedroom level.
Trouble. Yeah. Thank you.
Yoink.
That'll do.
Devin, your magical research is going swimmingly. You're pretty sure you understand the theory, and now you just need to practice.
Well, excellent. I suppose I'll be concerning everyone in the stairwell.
Don't you go jumping off the balconies. You're don't have much gravitas anyway.
Look. Would you rather descend a cliff with rope alone, or would you rather descend a cliff with rope and magic?
Suppose I could just push you.
Yes, and I certainly suspect that there's something there that lets people teleport in and out, considering it was a flying city, but we don't know if it's still operable, and
If we're lucky, maybe there'll be something we can fix up, and then we can, like, use a magic circle to come back here.
oh, that would be nice.
Make some good copies of what this one looks like, because you never know, you might have to duplicate it or something and fix it up on the other end.
That's a very good idea. Thank you. I'll
No
go make
worries.
sure I have that circle noted down.
I'm going to go out and see if I can dig up some things to try and pickle them.
Okay. Sounds like you're all having fun.
Mm-hmm. We're having fun playing house. We're terrible.
Yeah, I mean, you're not terrible. This is the nicest place you've ever stayed in.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
And people in the Discord chat channel are threatening to strap wheels to my shoes, which I don't think Devin would be a fan of. That might be a way to teach someone levitation out of self-defense.
Oh no.
You'd prefer not to. They'd both prefer not to. I was intending to test it on myself. Well, if someone's getting tested on,
He's got a point. Just
if
start by
anyone gets injured, we won't be going anywhere until they're better.
I can patch people up, but if it's magic, be a long one. Just, jump off the lowest step of the stairs going up to the tower and go up a little higher each time and see how it works.
Yes.
You can do it up above the bed with Adelina's permission.
Guys, you can use anything you want in here. I'm not gonna be a tyrant or something.
Well, it's still polite to ask. Thank you.
It's comfy.
All right, I suppose I can go and take all of the cushions off the couches and the chairs and the pillows off the bed, and yes, but soft thing to land on.
Oh yeah.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
On that note, we've been playing for about an hour. What do you say we take a 5-minute break?
Oh, good idea.
Yep.
We are recording. Or, conversely, and we're back.
And it definitely hasn't been several weeks.
Right. Definitely.
And we definitely didn't lose part of the recording.
Definitely not.
Definitely.
Didn't start the first half of this last year.
Oh, that's
Definitely not.
easier.
The thing that...
So,
Sorry.
the thing that...
Well, I was just going to make a comment about how, when I'm uploading these, when I put in the year for them, I put the year it was recorded, not the year it was edited. But
Right.
for this one... Anyway, So,
you are still in the Mage Tower. You have plans to test out this new spell that Deven has been reading about, and you have several options for where to go next that sound interesting. You have many options for where to go next, but you've been to many of them. There is the continent to the west, which is apparently separated by a land bridge or joined by a land bridge. You're not quite sure, but it's quite far away, and it's going to require you to get down that big cliff. There is the Fallen Flying City, which, again, you're going to have to get down that cliff. There is the pass to the north in the mountains, which will also let you check on some Ugog mines or caves or something that have been mentioned up there. And there is an island to the southeast where apparently the Grooves and Sky might have gone after the war, and the well to the north. So 5.
I believe we were intending to investigate the fallen city.
Yeah. It's provided we can make the spell work.
Yes.
If not, then we should probably go mark off another well so that we can think about it hard if we need to communicate there.
Okay. Well, you have many options, including practice spell or start walking.
Well, I believe I can fly.
I
I believe we can beat that sky.
think it would be best if we practiced before we start walking, rather than finding out later that we can't do it.
Old
I
Rob
agree.
is standing on several
I'll
pillars.
set out. Let's just tidy things up, Lil. Here, you jump. First, we practice jumping off the low branches.
Low branch is nothing. I plan to jump from here.
You're on the ground.
Exactly.
I suppose that's where you should start. Then you go out onto the steps out front of the tower, and you can jump off the lowest step, and then you could just keep jumping off until you figure out whether it's working or not.
I'm not entirely sure we should do this outside.
I mean,
All right,
eventually,
then he can jump off the stairs that go down to the first level of the tower. They're inside.
Exactly.
let's not think about step 2 right now. Let's just worry about step 1.
The lowest one that you're standing on, eh?
Whenever you're ready, Deven.
All right. Let's see then. And I assume I should be trying to do something that
Yes, you
involves
should.
rolling
And
dice.
I have made a miscalculation.
Oh
Dun,
dear.
dun.
My write-up for this is on the wrong computer, so I'm going to have to type it back in.
Oh no.
Whoops.
Well, while we're waiting, old Rob is going to tell a story about someone who arrived. Like, it's not a real story, it's a fictional story, but it was a story about some farmers who found a baby in their field and they adopted him and raised him as their own, and he managed to figure out how to do things like leap over buildings and, lift cars in the air. Don't know what a car is, but apparently you could lift one, and it was very difficult to do. And so
It's
hopefully
probably just
this is
cart
going
with the
to
T off it.
possibly, but hopefully this is going to be provided as an asset for staying off the ground a bit longer than we're supposed to.
Leap tall houses, a single bound, pick up carts underneath. Yeah, okay.
I do hope that you aren't expecting all of that.
Well, I'm not going to dress like him anyway. Blue and red color scheme? Not really for me. I'm more of an autumn.
Red's an autumn color, if it has yellow undertones.
Blue does not tend to be.
Blue, no. I'm just talking about the red. And if you put the red up to your face, then that's all it takes to give your complexion a good rosy hue. If it's the right color red. Might be a spring red. You all wonder how I know all this stuff. My mother did that. I know this stuff.
I'm just trying to think of how I can put rouge into the joke somewhere.
Discord cut out on some of that, but I caught enough to be snickering.
How to summon A in 3 easy steps.
Rouge!
You have said my class 3 times, and so I appear. Except, not really, because I'm well hidden. It's in the job description.
I think I'm losing track of the narrative here.
We're waiting for Ellie to type something in.
Okay.
We are waiting for the technical difficulties,
Okay.
We are waiting for the narrative.
but not the narrative. Whatever a tiv is.
A narrative would imply that there is a wide tiv.
A wide tiv, yes. Or a plump tiv. Broad tiv. There's a narrative and a broad tiv.
Well, if you want to paint the plot
makes
in
perfect
broad
sense to me.
strokes.
After all, the players will come in and discuss all the green circles and whatnot.
And this circle's green, and this circle's green, and this circle's green.
Did you have only one crayon left?
Well, the rest were chewed on.
That's what happens when they get left with the hatchlings.
And they didn't even taste that good. I mean, yeah, the hatchlings.
Just because the color looks like you should be able to lick it doesn't mean you can lick it or chew it. It will taste like crayon. Very disappointing.
Finally. Sorry about that.
It's okay. We provided banter.
Yes.
You did. And Deven, you have a new ability on your sheet.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
Dun, dun, dun.
Oh.
Oh. We're all going to react to this, and no one's going to
should I-
explain what it is.
How many XP should I be marking off?
You got that. You got that in play. So none. Don't worry about it.
All right.
This is effectively the equivalent of spending hours in GURPS rather than spending character points.
That is fair. The new ability on my sheet is Gravity Shift, 2 intellect points. Select a creature or object of your size or smaller. You can modify the direction in which gravity affects that target, as well as the amplitude of the effect. You can select any direction you like, including straight down, and it can reduce the strength of gravity to 0, effectively making the target weightless, or increase it to twice gravity's normal effect, or anything in between. A target that is weightless will float, and the slightest touch will send them moving in the opposite direction. A target that has its gravity set to a direction other than down will feel as though they're falling in that direction. The effect lasts for 1 hour, and during that hour you can change the direction and amplitude as you choose. You can affect additional creatures or objects by spending 1 additional intellect point per target.
Nice.
So you can ostensibly make someone fall up for an hour.
For an hour.
But probably should not.
I think that if they fall up
Yes,
for an
probably
hour,
should
they're
not.
going to keep falling up after that.
That's probably true.
Although up may just lose a whole lot of impact.
And this costs 2 intellect points. You have an edge of 4 in intellect. So for free, you can launch people into orbit. I have a suspicion that what's the range for this? Is there a listed range?
Probably not orbital.
Probably.
Yeah, I have a suspicion that if there is a range that is going to be applied, it is distance from the caster, and therefore, unless you are going into orbit with them.
Within long range.
I must say, I approve.
appreciate you. for so long as the target remains within long range of you. I appreciate our wonderful GM.
Mm-hmm.
Rand might actually be a little
Anyway.
jealous.
Sorry?
Oh,
Rand might be a little jealous.
Oh, Rand might actually be a little jealous.
Yeah, because I'm not sure that even with Rand's telekinesis other score being as high as it is, I'm not sure that canonically he is able to make something go into orbit.
it might take a bit of fatigue.
And he
Well,
has never admitted
Deven
to using
can't either now. I've modified it so the effect lasts for 1 hour or as long as the target remains within long range of you.
No orbital anything. No orbital anything.
On the other hand, you can bounce them up and down like a basketball.
Well, right now, I will do my level best not to bounce old Rob up and down like a basketball.
I appreciate that. And what's a basketball?
The thing you don't want to bounce like, obviously.
I don't think a basket turned into a ball would bounce very well.
No, you throw it in the basket.
It's noted in the description of the spell, not in the book where you found it, that this is most commonly used to get something from across the room. Like it isn't actually telekinesis unless you're really, really good at it. But it is like you can, like if I wanted a cup from across the room, I could just set its gravity toward my hand.
Neat.
Gravity this away.
Well, the cup was full.
Yeah.
And then the water
It may
inside
spill a
thought
little
that
bit
the
if it's
gravity
got
went sideways.
Yeah, there is that little potential problem.
Wizards were among the first to invent the sippy cup.
You broke Crash. I
No.
hear that chortle. You broke Crash.
My father was fond of saying, when you're a little child, they put a lid on your cup so you can't spill it. Then when you get older, you get to take the lid off. But then when you get older, you put the lid back on.
Mood.
Yeah.
I'm just imagining a montage of various things that get moved in one direction or another as Deven is practicing this spell.
Deven continues practicing while the rest of the party gets used to ducking out of the way.
But here's the
Yeah.
real question. Is there an attempt to use this on an inkwell?
No. Absolutely not. No.
You are wiser than old Rob would have been.
Thank you. No, I I know how that ends, and ink is too expensive for that.
At least part of the montage needs to have a scene where old Rob's hat's going up, then down, then up, then down. Possibly just old Rob's beard going up and down.
Oh dear.
But here's the question, can you do that with liquids?
I suppose we can try. How about we try later?
Just wondering, how that would work. If it would just splash on the ceiling, or if it would turn into an orb?
Well, the only liquids we have in here are
We got a whole well downstairs.
the well. Yes, but it's a magic well.
Well still, or well moving.
Deep subject. Deep subject. Deep subject.
And that is the wrong staircase to transition levels. Wow.
You all right?
Did somebody help you get where you
tripping
needed to
over
be?
I think my character just got slingshotted off the map
Uh-oh.
for no clear reason.
You used your ability.
Don't play with your spell. Whoops.
Oh, good, there he is.
A little bit worried.
Ah! Now my character's getting slingshotted. And I am now in a wall.
You are now a
Oh
silent.
my gosh. I've broken containment. I'm outside the map.
Oops.
You'll never catch me again.
Yeah, oops, that's right.
This is hilarious. My character is literally outside of the map.
Oh dear.
Yeah.
Aww.
So,
Devin, you
I
were
believe.
gonna.
Sorry.
No, you were saying what I was gonna ask you to say.
I believe we are ready to head off for the cliff.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
Old Rob packs up whatever supplies he thinks he needs, which is not a change of clothes. The current set of clothes he's got is perfectly good enough. Thank you very much. And he's pretty sure Karasenda's getting food, so he doesn't need to get any.
Just gonna stare at you and stare at you.
Look, between the two of us, Karasenda's better at knowing what's edible and what's not. Old Rob has different opinions about what's edible and what's not. And Karasenda would disagree. So Old Rob is letting Karasenda do it.
Karasinda is packing all the food for everyone who is clearly going to need all the food and grump, grump, grump. You know,
Mhm.
the usual. The usual.
Meanwhile, Old Rob has a bedroll, has a burlap sack. He's got one candle left, apparently. Has a tent packed.
Pack, pack, pack.
He has a not an adventuring pack.
That's
That's what it says on the character sheet. Should I be concerned that Old Rob has drawn from the Fantasy Ciphers table? Old Rob already has 2 ciphers. He's got an intellect booster and a shocker.
I had you selected. That's all. Okay. Well, you're heading out.
Locking up the thing behind us.
Yep. Trying to move my character, but doesn't seem to want to move.
We're gonna switch maps in a second, so don't worry about it.
Oh, okay. That's fine then. Yeah.
Remember to use the facilities before we head out. First
place-
rule,
It does have facility.
first rule of travel, go before you go. Oh, maybe you like digging a hole in the middle of the woods, but I personally do not.
No, I quite agree with you on this one. Just never mind. Never mind. After all, we're going to wind up having to dig a hole anyway at some point.
Yeah, but the further it is from the tower, the better.
I grant you that.
So what do you think we're going to find in the city?
Rocks.
I mean, yes, you're right.
Some might be magic rocks.
We've already found magic rocks.
I'm hoping something that might give greater context to what was happening and thus what we might be able to do when we next arrive in the past.
See what we might be able to fix or dodge.
And depending on where everyone ended up, there might be writings remaining there that mention the people we're looking for.
Mm-hmm.
Now, here's a thought. That little clicky thingy that you got, that's likely to recharge while we're out there. If we're in the ruins of that city and we use it, are we going to end up going back to the ground underneath the city? Or would we be in the city while it's flying?
Or while it's fallen.
New plan. Let's not use it.
Yes, that is about what I was about to say, yes. Let us perhaps not do the thing that might result in us being there and then while it's being destroyed and or being under it while it's falling.
I mean, you could make things fly. You could just tell the city to fly. Problem solved.
That is not that.
Might be a bit fatiguing.
Old Rob is smiling in a way that shows that he's not really being serious as he says this.
Yes.
And yet,
Deven is still sputtering slightly.
It is definitely the reaction that Old Rob wanted. Well, I'm not looking I'm not looking forward to the journey, but I'm looking forward to the destination. Let's go.
let's
right.
go. Hike we go. We will not sing a marching song that goes anything like hi ho, hi ho.
Dee 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 dee.
Concern. I have the concern.
You set off walking, and around the time that the sun is beginning to set, you come to the edges of Buttonton, which is the town you're familiar with. It's the one on the middle ring that you've been through several times now to get back and forth from Roskilde.
Get to wave to everybody.
Yeah, the guards now know to wave to you.
And we get there as the sun's going down.
The guards wave you on in, yes, although they are beginning to close the doors along the outer walls, just because it's getting dark.
Well, everybody go in.
Rudge through.
And there has been snow on the ground, although you haven't been walking through it really. This road is well traveled enough that carts and horses and boots have made work of the snow that would have been on the path.
There's one cart that comes through where somebody's throwing salt out the back of it. I imagine that salt is actually too valuable for them to be doing that.
Probably.
Yeah.
Gravel, maybe.
Gravel would do.
In Pennsylvania, they sometimes use cinders, or used to.
Makes sense. Yeah, gritty.
Not as much
warm.
coal burning as there used to be, so not as many cinders used.
Yeah.
There's a guy in the cart standing there holding two lanterns, one of which has a green glass over it, one of which has an orange glass. So yeah, you as the sun sets, you find yourself, if I can click the button, at
There we
the
go.
good old
She
step
clicked
and
the
toggle.
button.
Neat.
No longer am I the only one who presses buttons.
Dun dun dun.
Well, we are in Buttonton.
That's right.
True. True.
Land of buttons.
Although Crash, you seem to be trapped in the Wizard's Tower.
Loading snap and toggle.
That's odd. I
98%.
see, Rob.
Ah, okay. Yeah, the old Rob token is there, but
But it's not
Crash's
moving me.
player icon is still on the Wizard's Tower map.
Oh, I see what you mean.
Yeah, because
Huh.
98% loaded. Give it a moment.
Right.
It'll be fine.
Okay.
There we go.
There you go.
I'm so tiny.
You ain't that tiny. You're all
Well,
our
the map
size.
is huge.
I've had to half size all of your character tokens,
Big map, big grid.
Mm-hmm.
which is why if you move around, you will notice that you move double speed.
Oh my gosh, diagonal is
Whoosh.
so darn fast.
Oh dear.
Oh, hey, we stepped outside. Whoops. Now I
I
can't.
seem to have magically teleported to the second floor.
Oh, whoops.
Oh,
Worse,
no.
we are teleported to the second floor, but we cannot move. Yeah,
Oh.
you did too. Whoops.
Oh wait, I'm in 2 floors at once. Oh,
Oh, wow.
I disappear,
I can move both of them at the same time.
Oh, no.
and I have been
Forget-
returned to a seat instead of racing my little token around the map.
I'll just stay sitting here. I feel a little too dizzy to do that again.
These youngins and their zoomies.
Whippersnapper.
Oh no, I I can't get onto the chair.
Oh no.
Because it's in the wrong corner of the grid.
Oh no.
There we go.
That might work.
There we go.
Mhm.
Well, if there's no plot interjected at us as we are getting settled at the inn for the evening, old Rob is definitely going to reprise his role by the fire, telling stories, as he has done in the past.
Yes.
Mhm.
As you have.
I
Using
suppose I
his ability.
shouldn't be floating things where people might see it. And yet, the temptation is great.
I mean, these are the people who sold you the time travel statue. So
Yes,
Maybe
but
there
they didn't.
are.
They didn't advertise it as a time travel statue.
they did advertise it as a weird thing that came back from the wilds. And this town is on the way back from the wilds.
It's weird that it no longer
In fact,
feels that way.
Well, we went further.
We did go further.
Well, Deven is practicing making things lighter and heavier.
And attempting to be surreptitious about it, but might or might not be succeeding in that.
I mean, you're a wild touched. For all they know, that's just a thing you can do.
That's true.
Rob is sitting by the fire and telling stories. Caracinda and Adelina, what are you doing?
I'm probably gonna go try and get some food for the rest of us,
Okay.
wherever that comes from. Yeah.
Flagging down the
Flagging down like a server.
Ser-
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Devin's player rolls sneaking and actually rolls fairly well.
Yeah.
Your soup bowl is lighter than it's supposed to be.
Caracinda is resting her feet and gonna just, go through the things she picked up along the way and make sure that everything she picked up was edible or useful in some way, because, you forage a little as you go.
Mhm.
Tuck all the stuff away that, just little needful things that you can do while you're sitting down and resting your feet. All this walking.
Old Rob uses his ability to do an anecdote rather, to tell a story that is about resting and relaxing, therefore giving everyone an asset to get a good night's rest.
Oh.
He may or may
Sounds
not
good.
doze off part way near the end.
Well, if he does, Adelina will come and like shake his shoulder very gently, like, Rob, you're asleep. Wake up.
I was having the most beautiful dream.
Well, you can have it again if there's places to sleep here, I guess.
This is the first of the old style of magic that I've learned. And it's half of me wants to be deeply concerned over that, and half of me
Want to
is
play with it?
delighted
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
and hoping that if I play with it enough, I'll stop being concerned. Or at least stop being unwarrantedly concerned.
Right. So long as you use it responsibly. Well then.
Yes, well, the first thing any of us ever learned about old magic is that it didn't get used responsibly.
You don't say.
Well, that's why you're gonna have to use it responsibly.
Yes. And all
Well-
we heard might not be more than inference put together in the absence of data.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we sure did have an absence of data.
Well, here's to collecting your data, and here's to me going to bed. Good night, everyone.
Oh,
Good night. Kinda
Old Rob
scared
has a
too.
feeling that people are going to want him to get up early, so he's going to bed early, in the hopes that
Fair enough.
he'll be well rested when people wake him up early. He knows in his heart of hearts that's not how it works. He will, in fact, not get to bed. He'll be in a more comfortable location than falling asleep in a chair. And yet, because he got up and then walked to bed, now he's going to stay awake, laying in bed, fall asleep late anyway,
Mm-hmm.
and be grumpy and
So
tired in the
annoying.
morning.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Sounds reasonable.
Old Rob disagrees.
Everybody
Well,
else going to bed?
trying Sorry.
Oh, that's just asking if everybody else was going to bed.
Yeah, I think we're
Harrison
safe.
is gonna head to bed as well.
Yep.
If I recognize anyone, I'll spend a little time talking to. I think I was interviewing adventurers last time we were here.
You were.
If any of them, sorry.
There are a couple nearby. They've had a couple more adventures. You can gather a little more information about the nearby wilds, but it's very little that you don't already know, to be honest. Actually,
Hmm.
you can clear up a mystery for them. They heard enormous thumping sounds coming from off to the west and were terrified at the thought of going to investigate what they were.
The giant turtle. It
Yeah.
was a giant turtle, right? The giant turtle. We were there.
Disclaiming all responsibility for waking it up.
It just happened to wake up when we were there. It's completely not our fault. We didn't do it.
Sounds good. Other than that, the staff at the Snap and Toggle recognize you,
Okay.
but
Deven is just a little bit twitchy about how long we've gone without being meaningfully pursued and is trying to keep an ear out for news as to what might be going on back further in.
well, they say, let's see. I have to remember which is which. Dunmead and Revelton are still in the process of being rebuilt. This is going to happen over the course of like a year. So, and there doesn't there doesn't seem to be anything odd going on. Like maybe the buildings are a little more stable because they have time to because they're not being it's not being built up from a camp. So
Makes sense.
they're taking their time and making sure it's built properly and doing some fire abatement as much as you can in a medieval town.
Indeed.
Back in Dunport, the academy has unearthed some documentation on how to build ships that can go out of sight of the coast safely, and so they're working on building one of these ships so that they can go exploring.
Oh,
Because
really?
they don't know how far the wild magic has retreated off the coast. But all they have had for the last 500 years are what do you call them? The round bottom boats that stay close to the shore, caravels.
Coracles.
Sorry?
Coracle, something like that.
Something like that.
I will look it up. Yep, coracle. At least that's one form of it. See if there's.
Oh no, I mean little as in not a galleon.
Canoes?
Trireme?
Lobsterman.
Okay, we don't have to keep naming boats. Um,
But they're fun. Yes, we don't have to keep naming boats.
So yeah, they're working on building a larger ship that has the ability to navigate away from the coast
Without falling off the edge.
Yes. Yeah, there's not the Queen hasn't been quite as visible as she used to be, but she might just be staying inside the castle where it's warm.
Yeah.
She's just getting a little more translucent
Indeed,
as the years go on.
I hope she's well.
As do we all. Other than that, no one's come around looking for you guys. No one's everyone here seems to like you. So
Well, that's good.
Deven will return to whatever rooms the group are in and explain that, well, if they do end up needing to go to the island, they'll probably need to sneak back in and talk to the academy because the academy is building a boat.
Blink, blink, boat. How far along is it? We will have to keep track of the time to know when we might want to go stowing away.
Stowing away might be a little bit excessive.
Semi-stowing away.
Boat's not built yet, right?
It didn't sound to be, no.
Ah, okay. Maybe we can come back to that sometime when it's fixed or better or whatever they were trying to do. I don't know a lot about boats.
I'm not sure there's a person who does,
Hmm.
but they're the ones who would have the best idea of what boats from before the wild magic would have been like.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Not really my area of history.
Hmm.
And we've been playing for about an hour, haven't we?
Yes.
We have.
What do you say we take a 5-minute break and I can go help my sibling work our strange and terrible toaster oven?
Well,
All right.
that actually leads me to a question that I need to ask, which is, since this is technically the second half of an episode, do we want to cut it here, or do we want to keep going?
Oh.
My intent
Point.
is to give you set pieces,
Mhm.
so you can do role playing, like on a semi-daily basis until you reach the cliff's edge.
Oh, interesting. Yeah.
I'm okay with whatever everybody else is okay with.
If we're all okay with continuing, then my primary question, I guess, is for Crash.
Yes.
Because I know you don't like having to edit episodes that are more than a certain length.
Right.
I will start to get concerned if the total recording is over 3 hours,
Oh my.
and we're not close to that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Lee is baking things.
Okay.
So then why don't we take a 5-minute break and you can go help your sibling. And
All right, I'm gonna press a button.
when we get back, we can decide if we want to continue or
That's fair.
And that's when I said rutabaga.
You always say rutabaga.
I
and
never
that's
say
where we're gonna end it
rutabaga.
for the night. Thanks everyone for listening. Thank you all for playing. Tonight I've been joined by Beth, Crash, EO, and Jen. Who's got something they'd like to plug?
Well, I hear Eo's mom. I hear Eo's mom writes books at elizabethmccoy.com, and they're ebooks. You can ask your library to pick them up because they're on at least Overdrive and maybe a few others. Last time I looked, Smashwords and Draft to Digital finally are completing their merger, and I just got moved over. So, where is everything? I can't find all my dashboard stuff, but it ought to be there. It ought to be there. And speaking of things that are books,
My website is bookofjen.net. I put whatever I want on it whenever the mood catches me or when I have enough energy. It's at bookofjen.net. I'm also the host of the Shattered Soulstone podcast, which I've been neglecting because I got sick, but I'm better now. So, yeah, you can find that at shatteredsoulstone.com.
books, I guess.
Speaking of websites,
You can find all of our podcasts at aaronbsmith.com/cogwheel. You can also follow us on the Fediverse at is.aaronbsmith.com/@cogwheel. And we have a Patreon, patreon.com/cogwheelgaming, where you can help us keep the lights on, along with other illustrious patrons, including Ellie, Shan Shan, Walter, Liv Drummond, and patron emeritus Cindy.
and until next time, I said it.
Yes, you did.
This is Ellie saying, hopefully it won't be 3 weeks before the next session. Good night, everybody.
Good night.